uh, these are the type of research whenever we are observing the things at different level to find out something true or to find out something which is not known, that is called observational research. So basically it is a social research technique that involves the direct observation of phenomena in their natural setting, right? Whatever the things it is going on or happening, that's what natural word used, natural setting, that we are when observing directly, right? So that is comes under the social research technique. This differentiates it from experimental research, in which a quasi artificial environment is created to control for serious factors, and where at least one of the variables is manipulated as a part of experiment, right? So the theme of this one is that what is going on naturally, right? When we are observing critically, or in that case at least one variables or one participant, let me say one participant, which can be controlled or manipulated as the part of experiment, that we can observe that suppose lot of insects are flying here, so at least one insect you can take and you can observe that. So that will be the observational research. So that's what in natural setting whenever we are observing, so artificially, that is the observational research, right? So if you see the definition of the observational research, an extensive array of research method used with the intention of observing consumer interactions with products and services in their natural surroundings, right? So it will not be on nature. Whenever I am saying the natural or nature, it doesn't mean that only river, mountain and forest, right? Natural surrounding means it may be the market, it may be the any habitat where the human civilization is there, animal civil, what is the type of living organisms they are there, it doesn't matter. Natural surrounding in the sense how they do naturally without interfering of anyone's, right? So that's what the intention of observing consumer interactions with their products and with their service in their natural surroundings, right? For example, now Davar Chamanpras is there. Let us take the example. So Davar Chamanpras, how long it is there in the market, and how the people are purchasing. Before COVID-19, what was the sale of the Davar Chawanpras? During COVID-19, what is the sale of Davar Chawanpras? And after COVID-19, after the pandemic, what is going to be the selling of the Davar Chawanpras? That's what Davar Chawanpras is product, and the service which the company is providing or the product is providing, like it is boosting the immunity, it is boosting the other nutrients part point of view in our body, right? So what is the interaction with the consumer? So that we are going to observe, right? Observation research define as the systemic process of recording of behavioral patterns of people, objects, occurrence, right? People, the pattern of the people, behavior pattern means what is your opinion towards the particular thing. Honda City you like, or Maruti Suzuki, Honda company you like, or Maruti Suzuki you like, or Tata you like, or Nexon you like, or Renault you like. What is the overall opinion of the people? It's not individual or any objects or any occurrence, like uh, uh, that dabar and the sorry honey is available into the Telangana region or into the Andhra region. So what is the basically overall we are going to record the things of the what's going on without questioning or communicating with them. We are not going to ask the honey bees that how long you are staying here, how you are preparing the honey, all those. Means let it happen. What is going on, let it happen in their own pattern or in their own style, without disturbing them, without asking them, and without communicating them. We are observing. Actually, whether it is right or wrong, that will decide later, but we have to observe and we have to record. That's called the observation. So here the different types, it has given the types of observation: the naturalistic observation and the participant observation. So let us discuss one by one. The naturalistic observation, as the name indicate, non-participants, or natural, as the name indicate, naturalistic means natural observation, has no intervention by the researcher. The person who is doing the research, in this kind of, there will be no intervention by the researchers. It is simply studying behaviors that occur naturally in natural context, unlike the artificial environment of a controlled laboratory setting. Importantly, okay, in naturalistic observation, there is no attempts to manipulate variables. It permits measuring what behavior is really like. However, its typical limitation consists in its incapable incapability exploring the actual cause of behaviors, and the impossibility to determine if a given observation is truly representative of what normally occurs. So, as the name indicate, that naturalistic observation, whenever the things are going on naturally or in their own style or own pattern, in that case, when the researchers, they are going to observe that thing, right, or measuring the behavior, or measuring the what is happening, right, so that is comes under the naturalistic observation. The next one, that is the participant observation. Here the name indicate, there will be the participants. In participant observation, the researchers intervenes in the environment. Most commonly, this refers to inserting himself or herself as a member of a group, aimed at observing behavior that otherwise would not be accessible. So the person who is doing the research or who is researcher, that particular person will also be the participant in that particular research, so that he will be able to access or the record properly the observing behavior. That's what it's known as participant observation. Also, behaviors remains relatively natural, thereby giving the a measurement high external validity. Case studies are a type of observational research which we have discussed in the last class, that involve a through descriptive analysis of a single individual's group or event, that I told you. They can be designed along the lines of both non-participants and participant observation. Both approaches create new data, while actual research involves the analysis of data that already exist. Right. So here that it has been given that single individual, it may be the any politician, it may be the film star, it may be the he may be the any of the celebrities, right, or any group like BJP, Congress, TRS, or any event, right, film fair award event is there, or orientation program, your bio adhyan. So whatever the descriptive analysis, when the person is doing here, he or she is going to involve and participate in that event or in that group or in that individual. He or she has to interact with the Narendra Modi or interact with the Shah Rukh Khan or anybody, whomever he is going to observe, right? So that's what the participant observation. So there are different types of observation. It has given like a casual and scientific observation, right? Scientific observation means whenever we are doing extraction, isolation, the chromatography, spectroscopy, so that observation what is going on with the instrument, with the equipment, with the chemical, that comes under the scientific observation. The structured and unstructured observation, sometimes we have to observe, there will be the plan properly, that first you have to observe the introduction, then material and method, then description. Or if anything, if you are observing any walking of the animals, so you need to observe right from, they will start from their home, then how they are going into the with the plant, between the plant to the lake, or like that, right? So if sometimes structured, sometimes unstructured, suddenly you are going into the forest and you have got the one lion came and you are inside the safari, so your camera was not ready, so immediately you'll open your camera and you'll start recording, or you'll start observing without camera also. So you are not planned, you are not structured. Subjective and objective observations, right? So subjective means, suppose if anyone is there, any person is there, or what he has done, what was the past. Then objective means any person, like what do you call, any vehicle or anything, any lake, a mountain, the buildings, the right, the controlled and non-controlled observation. So then participant and non-participant, direct and indirect observation, and the natural observation. So let us try to discuss faster. Casual and scientific observation. An observation can be sometimes casual in nature, or sometimes it may act scientifically. An observation with a casual approach involves observing the right thing at the right place and also at the right time, by a matter of chance or by luck, whereas the scientific observation involves the use of tools of the measurement. So difference you can see here, right? So that's what the casual approach means. It will be the observing the, what do you call, the right thing, right place at the right time, right? The matter of chance and by luck, whereas but the when it comes to the scientific, it involves the use of tools of measurement, right? You need to observe the fluctuation. Suppose you are working onto the chromatography, so how you are going to measure it? First you have to put this, load the sample, then you have to put that particular plate onto the solvent system. That solvent system will also having a the proper ratio, then solvent will run from downwards to upwards. Then there will be the formula, that RF value, retention factor, distance traveled by solute upon distance traveled by solvent. So you have to put the values in the, so you are having the tool to get the measurement of the RF value in the case of chromatography. So that's what natural observation, we have discussed in previous slide also. Natural observation involves the observing the behavior in a normal setting, and in this type of observation, no efforts are made to bring any type of change in the behavior of the observed. Natural. Forget about success and failure. Forget about good and bad. Forget about the things if it is not going as per your personal expectation. Let it happen naturally. Just you're going to observe the thing. Subjective and objective observation. Subjective observation involves the observation of the one's own immediate experience, whereas the observations involve observer as an entity apart from the thing being observed, are referred to as the objective observation. Objective observation is also called the retrospection. Retrospection, right? Direct and indirect observation. With the help of direct method of observation, one comes to know how the observers is physically present in which type of situation is he present physically, that's what, physically present, which type of situation is he present, and then this type of observation monitors what takes place. Whereas indirect method of observation involves study of mechanical recording or the recording by the sum of the other means like photographic or electronic or CCTV camera or any other thing. So that will be indirect observation. Later on we are going to observe with the electronic media. Participant and non-participant observation. In participant observation, the degree of participation is largely affected by the nature of the study. That is also depend on the type of situation and also on its demands. But in the non-participants type of observation, no participants of the observers in the activities of the group takes place, and also there occur no relationship between the researchers and the group. Already I told you in previous slide, right? So this one, a non-participant, you can understand where the participant, the observer is not going to be the one of the person into that group. Structured and unstructured observation. Structured observations works according to the plan and involve specific information of the units that are to be observed. The unstructured observation is basic or diametrically against the structured observation, right? Controlled and the non-controlled observation. Controlled observations are the observations made under the influence of some of the external forces, and such observation rarely leads to improvement in the precision of the research results. Whereas non-controlled observations are made in the natural environment and reverse the controlled observation, these observations involves no influence or guidance of any type of external forces, right? Any types of external forces. So that's what it is happening. So let us understand the next one, observation method. So there are three types of method, observation method. That is the first one, controlled observations, and the second one, natural observations method, and the third one, that is the participant observations method, means how we are. So let us understand what is the controlled observations. Controlled observation is that the observational study where the conditions are contrived by researchers. This type of observation may be carried out in a laboratory type situation, and because variables are manipulated is said to be high in control, right? The Dement and the Keltman study, these two, is an example of the controlled observation. The weakness of the method is that it will be low in ecological validity compared to naturalistic observation. If participants are aware they are being studied, they behave differently. They behave differently. So coming to the next one, naturalistic observation. In naturalistic observation, unstructured observation, this is also called, involves the studying the spontaneous behavior of participants in natural surroundings. The researcher simply records what they see in whatever way they can. Compared with controlled and structured method, it is like the difference between the studying wild animals in a zoo and studying them in their natural habitat, or ex situ conservation or in situ conservation will be there, no, like that. The strengths, by seeing, by being able to observe the flow of behavior in its own setting, studies have greater validity. If lion, if you see into the forest walking, and if you see into the any zoo, difference obviously. So that's what. Second one, like case study, naturalistic observation is often used to generate new ideas because it gives the researchers the opportunity to study the total situation. It often suggests avenues of the inquiry not through not thought of before. Anything it may happen when you are going to the see the king cobra into their natural habitat. So you may not think that what kind of cobra it is going to be have behave, how it is going to run, all those things, right? So the next one is the limitations. These observations are often conducted on a micro or small scale because it cannot be it may be dangerous or and may lack of representative sample, like based in relations to age, gender, social class, or ethnicity. This may result in the findings lacking the ability to be generalized in wider society. Okay. Natural observations are less reliable as other variables cannot be controlled, because snakes you cannot control that, a lion you cannot control. Whatever it happened, you have to record that. This makes it the difficult for another researchers to repeat the study in exactly the same way. If you have by chance you came into in front of lion, or so the same thing another research, if we'll go with the handy cam and camera, and they cannot repeat the same types of recordings. So that's what that is comes under the limitation. A further disadvantage of that, the researchers needs to be trained to be able to recognize aspects of a situation that are the psychologically significant and worth further attention. You should have dare enough to go in front of the lion or in front of the cobra or someone, right? So that's what it needs to be need to be trained to be able to recognize the aspects of the situation. Third one is the participants observation. The participant observation is a variant of the above natural observation, but here the researchers joins in and become a part of the group. That already I told you. Okay, participant observations, limitations. Okay, so like that, the limitation, participant observation, it can be difficult to get time, privacy for recording. For example, with convert observation, researchers cannot take note openly, as this would as this would blow their cover, because they are secretly they are the participant. So if they will start doing that, the other participant will come to know that he is the part of the observation, or he came for the some types of study. So the other, then it will be not be natural, then they will start behaving something like that. So this means that they have to wait until they are alone, or reply on their memory. This is a problem as they may forget details and are unlikely to remember direct quotations. Later on, whenever they will go to their home and at night time, whenever they will try to record that, they will be difficult because they may forget the things. If researchers becomes too involved, they may lose objectivity and becomes bias. There is always a danger that we will see what we expect or want or to see. This is a problem as they could selectively report information instead of nothing everything they observe, right? Thus the reducing the validity of their data, right? So these are the different types of observations which we have to study.